The Washington Commanders are victorious in their preseason finale against the New England Patriots by a final score of 20-10 at Commanders Stadium tonight. And now we're on to the regular season. Thank God, because boy, oh boy, once you get to this third preseason game, guys, it's a lot of reserves, it's a lot of backups. And, I thought it was a little bit entertaining today. You got Trace McSorley going in there, doing his thing, running for first downs, lowering his shoulder, leading multiple touchdown drives. I don't have him on my winners list. I'm just going to say full disclosure on that. Winners and losers are kind of based on people making the roster versus not. I still don't think Trace McSorley is going to make the roster, but it was nice to see him play for his favorite franchise growing up and kind of living out his dream here. Before I think he's going to be let go before Tuesday's cut deadline. So let's get to the winners here. Let's start with KJ Henry, who had a sack early in the game on, I believe it was Jacoby Brissett. He was actually the one that led to the injury on Jacoby's shoulder. Hopefully he's all right and we'll be able to play week 1. Talking about Jacoby Brissett, Commanders legend, by the way. But KJ looked pretty darn good. I mean, last year he had a good performance against the Patriots when we played them. And this year, he comes out and gets a sack as well. So good job on KJ. Then Byron Pringle had a couple good catches, and one of them was brought back early in the game because he stepped out of bounds. But his ability to make that catch and still keep 2 feet in bounds, I think definitely showed this Commanders coaching staff that, he can make those catches if called upon. All right, he's been a pro in this league for a while. Be interesting to see if he makes the final roster. John Ridgeway did a really good job. Today, he got multiple tackles for losses. He blew up a screen. I mean, how many times do you see a defensive tackle blow up a screen to a receiver on the outside, right? So John Ridgeway, really good game today, in my opinion. Mykal Walker blew up some guys in the run game as well. He was good on the blitz today. I think he had a pass breakup as well. So Mykal Walker, will he make the team? I don't know. But he definitely showed out today against the Patriots. And then the final winner today, I got Phidarian Mathis as the winner, the defensive tackle. Had multiple PBUs with the pass bat down, man. Like, he looked pretty darn good, and he had the timing down on that. So I think Phidarian ends up making this roster. I guess we'll see on Tuesday, but a big day for these 5 gentlemen right here. Some honorable mentions, I will say, though. Trace McSorley for sure. Martavis Bryant getting that touchdown. That was great to see. But I don't think either one of those guys makes the final roster, so I didn't want to put them in my winners list. So I want to know down there in the comments section, who is the best player for the Washington Commanders from today's game? Michael Wiley had a touchdown. Another honorable mention here on this winners list. Trace McSorley, Bryant. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. In just a second, I'm going to be talking about our friends at Prize Picks. And while I'm talking about Prize Picks, let me know who you thought was the best player on the Commanders roster for today's game. And with that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Prize Picks, which is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports right on your phone. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. So all you have to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and then watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, which means you can just turn $10, guys, into $1,000. That is if you know ball and you can get all of your picks correct. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds right from your phone and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Here's my projection, guys. I got it wrong. I took the less on Drake May passing yards. He had more. I took the more on Javon Baker receiving yards. I don't even know if he got more than that, honestly. On the Mitchell Tinsley receiving yards, I took the more. I'm pretty sure I hit on that one. So if you want to get in on the action right now, I didn't hit on my projection today, but if you want to take your shot tomorrow and every single game day this year, you guys can go download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks right now for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Some losers today. Noah Igbinoghene gave up some big gains today, gave up a touchdown, had a missed tackle on that touchdown in the first quarter today. Didn't think he particularly played great. Still probably think he makes this roster, but not great seeing one of your reserve safe or corners lose as bad as he did today. Bryson Tremaine, I thought, he had multiple penalties, false start. He had an OPI on a block on a screen. I just didn't think it was Tremaine's best day. Probably ends up getting cut, unfortunately. Jeff Driscoll had a rough first half. I mean, McSorley had to come in and work his magic to win the game. In the second half, Driscoll was 12 of 8 for 73 yards today with an interception, no touchdowns, and a sack. So Driscoll had some really tough throws, some inaccurate passes. Does he make the team? I actually think he does as the QB3, the emergency quarterback on this team, over Trace McSorley. But, it just wasn't the best day for Mr. Jeff Driscoll. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already for nonstop Commanders videos all year round. Tomorrow, I have my official final 53-man roster projection for the Washington Commanders. And then also on Tuesday, the Commanders will officially announce their 53-man roster. So we will have videos on both of those big events tomorrow. So make sure you click that subscribe button because it's free, and we have the best damn Commanders coverage here on YouTube. Chris Rodriguez Jr., I think it's been a kind of a loser preseason for him, if I'm being honest. He was out there in the fourth quarter with the reserves. For somebody that I expected to be kind of solidly the number 3 running back on this team this year, there's other guys that I thought looked better. I thought Jeremy McNichols looked better. I thought Mykal Walker definitely looked better this preseason. And honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Chris Rodriguez Jr. ends up getting cut. Mykal Walker had a touchdown today, 26 yards. Maybe not his best performance of the preseason, but I thought he showed some good stuff, had a really good touchdown run. And Jeremy McNichols had a pretty decent day as well today. If I'm Dan Quinn, the head coach, I'm having Mykal Walker as my number 3 running back. I think he played the best out of all of these kind of reserve-type running backs. And I'd consider keeping McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr. on the practice squad. But right now it definitely seems like Mr. McNichols is probably in the lead to be that number 3 back. Then Jamin Davis. I mean, they have this guy playing, still going into the fourth quarter. I mean, either A, they want him to just get more reps at edge rusher so that he can, get used to it, or B, they're not really expecting him to be a contributor much this year in their starting defense. Dante Fowler Jr. is listed as the starting as a starting linebacker over Jamin Davis, and I came into the year really expecting Jamin to play a big role in this defense because of his athletic profile. He kind of fits that Micah Parsons role. But apparently the Commanders have not seen enough from him as a kind of edge rusher type to put him in the starting lineup at this point. So I think Jamin Davis has been a pretty big loser throughout the preseason. I thought he actually has made some nice plays with the reserves. So I think he definitely makes the roster. But the fact that they're putting him out there late in the game definitely makes him a loser this preseason. So let me know down there in the comments section who is the biggest loser versus the Patriots for the Washington Commanders. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Just some stats here to finish up today's show. You guys can see here the big stat for the Patriots, in my opinion, was not the turnovers, the penalties that they had. They had a bunch of penalties on the offensive line today. It was pretty ugly. Joe Milton didn't have a good game today. The passing numbers overall were pretty ugly. Below 50% completion percentage is just terrible. So not a great day for the New England Patriots offense, and it definitely looks to me like they're like a 5-win team at most, and they're going to be drafting in the top 3 of the NFL draft once again. Then you get to the Commanders here, and I thought it was a bit better. Trace McSorley came in, thought he played really, really solidly in the second half. Now, obviously, that's with backups, against backups, preseason defensive coverages. So I don't think it's any indication that McSorley can be a decent player for the Commanders if he's asked to play in a regular season game. But it was definitely fun to watch, man, and that's kind of where it's at. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, guys, we are going to be doing our video for the final roster projection here on the Commanders Report tomorrow, and then when the Commanders finalize their final roster on Tuesday, we will have a video for you guys then. Also, if you guys watch the Commanders Report live show, we're actually changing our live day from Thursday to Wednesday. So we're going to be going live every Wednesday during the year from here on out. Plus, we have live watch parties for every single Commanders game. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button to join our family and help us get to 20,000 subscribers.